the slide in the landscape mode, please, so it could be more visible. Okay, let's start. Uh, uh, I hope the screen is visible to you. The presentation screen, can anyone confirm that? Okay, let's start with the session. So, what is in halal audit? Okay, the screen is gone. Okay, just give me a minute. I will share the screen. Okay, so what is an halal audit and what is halal? See, as you can see, the halal is an Arabic word meaning lawful, but it's usually used to describe something that a Muslim is permitted to engage, like to eat, to drink, or use, or wear, or etc. So, when we discuss about the halal audit in this perspective, the halal audit is a process to ensure that the products, processes, and facilities comply with the Islamic laws and principles. As you can see, the halal is also mentioned in the this slide as well, that it refers to what is permissible and lawful in Islam. But we go through the halal audit, examiner reviews and verifies various aspects of production, storage, and distribution to ensure they are according to the halal standards, preventing any contamination with non-permissible substances or practices. This is important for the Muslims who follow the guidelines that align with their religious beliefs. Okay. Uh, can you bring the slide back, please? How it was? Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. Can you move to the next slide, please? In the next slide. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. Can we come back? Come back? Can we come back? So you have 2 minutes to go through this slide, and I will explain to you what is haram food and what role it does it play in the halal audit. So haram food refers to the items that are prohibited and unlawful in during an halal audit, the presence of haram elements such as forbidden substances is a critical concern. So, the haram food in the audit, what role does it play when we conduct an audit in the perspective of what the haram food could be possibly there? So, it aims or the audit aims in the halal process to identify and eliminate any haram components from the production process, such as in storage and distribution of the product. So after ensuring that the absence of the haram food is initial to maintain the integrity of the who follow within the premises or the standards of the halal standard. Can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, so the halal certification, this slide will take a little bit of time because I'm going to give you a very brief information and explanation about what is the halal certification and what type of certifications are present in the halal certifications. So, and what type of processes are there. So, halal certification, first of all, is a formal recognition given with the product, so you can add processes and establishments that comply with the Islamic dietary laws and principles. So these laws are outlined in the teachings of our Islam, and halal certification ensures that the products are prepared and processed and handled according to the specific guidelines uh, and to meet the dietary requirements of the Muslims. So there are a little bit of general steps that I will explain it to you. But mostly and has a halal certifications is normally like 2 to 3 or 4. Not much of that the versions are more or the labels are more. So that's why the confusion is not much, and understanding it is very you can say easy as compared to the other standards in the food. So first of all, we'll focus on the application. The manufacturer, or you can say the producer that submits to an application has to be recognized by the halal certification authority. Right now in Pakistan and around the world, there are two in Pakistan. They are the global halal services. It is international, but recently they have started this initiative of giving certifications to the local industries as well and to the international as well. There is a halal research council as well, which provides certifications training according to the halal certification uh, based on the standards of the halal, or you can say halal audit as well. Can anyone confirm me that the screen is visible to you? Visible, okay. Okay, so first we discuss the application, uh, and then now we'll discuss about the documentation review. So in halal certification, or in, you can say halal certification or uh, audit certification of the halal reviews the application and associated documentation to determine if the product meets the halal standards. What they do, they examine the ingredients, sourcing, and processing methods and the facilities that are based on the practices of the halal standards as well. First, after the documentation has been completed, the inspector or the inspection guy or the audit guy, the auditor, the lead auditor of the halal certification will do an on-site inspection of the uh, you can say it could be conducted to verify the production process that, which should be aligned with the halal requirements. This involves, you can say, accessing the facilities, cleanness, equipment, segregation of the halal and non-halal items. Overall, the compliance should be according to the halal certification. So, what I want to just I am just giving you the general guidelines. I'm not giving you a very detailed view, or you can say, and information about the halal certification, as this is a very, you can say, awareness session, and most of us are not familiar with the halal certification. So I am just giving the basic, so you could understand the basic foundation of the halal certification. Then in the coming weeks or days, we will provide the internal audit, complete, you can say, training. So before going to that, you need to understand this session. So that's why I will keep it very basic in order to you to understand it perfectly. So as we were on the on-site inspection, now we'll go through the ingredient verification. After everything on the, you can say, all of the inspection has been completed on the site or industry or anything, Then we'll move to the cross-contamination prevention. So the measures are taken to prevent the cross-contamination between the halal and non-halal products during the storage, processing, and transportation. Likewise, the certification decision as well is based on the assessment if the product and the process meet the halal standards. The certifying body issues the halal certificate for the product. You can this certificate that you will receive is usually accompanied by the halal logo or the label that the consumer can recognize. What is the process after you have received the certificate, and what could be the you can say the future of this certificate? So certificate after the establishments have provided you, or the certification body that have provided you the certificate. Excuse me for the coughing. So the certification that has been established are subjected to the periodic audits or inspection to ensure that the continued compliance with the halal standards are up to date. So uh, time to time, you can say the audit will would be conducted surprisingly or non-surprisingly. So why? Because this helps to maintain the integrity of the certification. Just for example, that our industry has been having the certification of the halal, and it's not being, you can say, the mark of the date of the has been aligned with the halal certification. So the surprise visits are for that. And surprise visit, or you can say, uh, the audits are usually, I can say, um, called, you can say, surprises, because they are not scheduled, and they are, you can say, visited randomly. A random visit could be conducted from an auditor to check whether the this industry has an halal certificate, whether are they are complying with the standards or not. Because if the consumer is purchasing anything from your industry or your product which has the halal logo, so it is the responsibility of the certification body to ensure that the industry or the organization which is holding the halal certificate are actually aligning with the halal standards or not. So that's why random audits are also in the process in order to check the uh, processes and the up-to-date standards of the industry, whether they are aligned with the halal certification or halal standards or not. Can we move to the next slide, please? So, halal certification is important for Muslim consumers who seek to consume the food and products that align with their religious beliefs. It also facilitates the trade and business relationship, as the certification or the certified products can be marketed to the wider audience. Different countries and religions might have their own halal certification body, but each with their specific criteria. The fundamental goal is to provide the assurance of the compliance with the Islamic dietary laws as well. So these are the types of halal certification that you could see. You can go through them. Then I'll explain to you one by one. Okay. So you can read this slide. I will not gonna. I'm not gonna read the slide or go through the slide. So I will give my point of. You can say. Or you can say I will give my point of various types of halal certification from each of the category in different industries and specific needs. So you can read the slide as well, but you have to focus on the voice more. So there are various types of halal certifications, each catering to the different industries and specific needs. So I will just give you the you can say general guidelines, or you can say general common types of the products in different industries. So first we will discuss about the food and beverage certification.
पहले तो रख दे.
The food and beverage certification is the most common type, focusing on the certifying the body and beverage products, ensuring they meet the halal standards. In the food and beverage certification, it covers ingredients, processing methods, packaging, and distribution. Whereas if we talk about the ingredient certification, and ingredient certification, some certification bodies specialize in certifying the individual ingredients used in the production of the various products. This helps to manufacture the, or you can say ensure the components they use are halal compliant. Restaurants and catering certifications is for, you can say, a food service establishments like restaurants, cafeterias, and catering services. And it involves ensuring that the entire process from sourcing ingredients to cooking and serving are according to the halal guidelines and no. Cosmetic and personal care certification. In this certification, this is for the cosmetics, skincare, and personal care products. It verifies that the ingredients used do not, you can say, contain anything haram elements, or you can say are I can say are processed in accordance with the halal standards. If we talk about the pharmaceutical certification, so in pharmaceutical certification, the halal certification plays the role that ensures that the medication and health-related products are free from any non-halal or haram substances and are suitable for the Muslims to use. So in Saudi Arabia, a lot of medicines are, you can say, not available due to this restriction in the pharmaceutical. Why? Because if something in the medicine is used which is not halal, uh, so they use the halal certification body to check the medical any type of medication or medical test or anything which is related to the pharmaceutical and medical tests, whether they are according to the halal standard or not. Where we talk about the supply chain certification, it focuses on ensuring that the transportation, storage, distribution of the halal products are done in a manner that prevents the cross contamination with the non-halal items. So, financial and banking certifications as well. A lot of people might be thinking that what role does the halal certification play in the financial and banking? So, in some Islamic countries, financial institutions seek halal certification for their products and services to ensure that they comply with the Sharia law or principles. Like we have, you can say, Faisal Bank in our country, Pakistan. So, and various more in other countries around the world, there are many banks who mention Islamic banking before their name of the actual bank, that we are in Islamic banking or Islamic bank like this. So that this part is played by the halal certification in order to make the financial or the bank of itself to make it halal certified or completely Islamic bank. So textile and I can say related to textile. So this textile covers clothing and textiles that ensure that the materials used as the manufacturing process are according to the halal guidelines. Means now a lot of people might be thinking what type of halal certification is needed in the clothes. Is it really necessary? Or is it really there? Does it exist? Yes, it is. And let me give you an example. Uh, there are some clothes not like in, you can say, in the cotton, or you can say in the but mostly in the leather. The halal certification is usually used in the leather. So why? Because we don't know what type of animal skin they are using after it is being used, and after it is manufactured completely. And when a person is it is present in the front of the person or the buyer, we cannot usually tell by touching or seeing or smelling it that what type of animal skin has been used in this the formation or production of this jacket or of this shirt or anything which is shoes. anything which is made up of the skin or the feathers of the animal. So that's why the
हाँ
halal certification is very necessary
ठीक
for.
हाँ
So medicine and healthcare certification, it is similar to the pharmaceutical certification as well, but this one verifies the halal status of the medical equipment and healthcare products. Why? Because it is important to know that what we're eating is actually not from any of the part, or you can say any even the traces, if it is present, like just say that the traces of anything which is not halal is present in a medicine, it will be, you can say, not, you can say, not it will not comply with the halal certification then, right? So that's why the medication and the healthcare certification is also necessary as well. But it is important to note that the availability and types of halal certification can vary region or by country. Different certification body might have slightly different criteria and process, but the overall aim remains constant to provide the assurance to the Muslim consumers that the product and services they are using are aligned with their religious beliefs or according to the halal certification. Can you move to the next slide, please? So this is the procedure, and yes, the training material will be shared in the group in the WhatsApp. Uh, you can download it from there in the WhatsApp group, or you can ask the organizations on the official number. They will provide you on WhatsApp personally. So this is the halal certification procedure. You can read this if you can, those who can read it comfortably. Then I will explain to you in 2 minutes. Okay. So as you can see, the application submission is the first one. In this, the manufacturer, producer, service provider applies for the application to an recognized halal certification authority. The application includes the information about the product or services and ingredients and manufacturing processes and relevant documentation. After that, the documentation verification and review is in process. The certification authority reviews the submitted documents to assess whether they meet the halal standards or not. This involves the ingredient lists, sourcing details, processing methods, and any potential source of non-halal or haram contamination. Then they plan an audit of what the first, the pre-audit assessment. This one would not be available in all over the country, because this pre-audit assessment is optional. So, but I will still explain it for your knowledge that some certification body may conduct an pre-audit assessment. Why? To help the, you can say, applicant prepare for the on-site inspection. Let's just say that you have an industry, and you don't know what type of preparation you should do, or what type of things you do, because this is your first time. You have no idea that what things or what type of process it takes for the halal certification. But in generally, uh, This is to help the applicant prepare for the on-site inspection in general. But during this phase, the potential, or you can say the issues on the non-compliance areas are identified, allowing the application or applicant to address them before the official visit. So the on-site inspection, what does it do? The on-site inspection, I guess most of us know already that the what are the on-site inspection are there, or what type of things are there. Um, In facility inspection, auditors visit the production facilities or establishments. They assess the cleanliness and operational practices and overall environment. Then they move to the production process. Or auditors evaluate the production process to ensure it is free from any harm elements. Equipment verification, uh, the machinery and equipment used are checked to ensure that they haven't been contaminated with the non-halal substances. Employee training, the training of an employees of and awareness of the employees regarding the halal practices might also be evaluated. Uh, ingredient and sources. And this the verification, the certification authority examines the origin, processing methods, and the nature of the ingredients used. Any doubtful ingredients are further analyzed, sometimes requiring the laboratory testing to verify their halal status as well. But after that, the evaluation and report. In this, the post-inspection, the audit team creates a comprehensive report detailing their findings and highlighting any areas of concern um, of non-compliance. Then the corrective actions are taken if issues are like non-compliance areas are identified, the applicant is informed and asked to make necessary corrections. Some certification body might conduct and follow up audit to ensure that the corrective actions are effectively corrected. Then they move to the Sharia board evaluation. In the Sharia board evaluation, after everything is done, the documentation, the audit report is verified by the team of the auditors and the audit team. It moves to the Sharia board evaluation. The Sharia board has, I can say, it is a panel of number of people are there in the board evaluation, which evaluates whether the documentation and the audit report uh, has are meeting with the Sharia law or not. After this step, the certificate you receive the certificate of the halal certification, and after that, the validity of that certificate is 1 year from the date of the when it is issued. So after 1 year, or you can say the recertification is maximum to the 2 months, or you can say minimum to 1 month before you. What does it mean that you have to renew it before 2 months or 1 month at least before the day or actual date of the expiry. And this during this or 1 year, random visits or random audits will be conducted by the certification body to ensure that the you are according to the standards of the halal. The industry is aligning with the halal standards. Can you move to the next slide, please? Yes, Mr. Irfan, a lot of uh, certifications and training services are being provided by different, you can say, consultancies and companies as well. It's getting more and more, you can say, common, and it is a very good initiative that the awareness of the halal certification is being spread in the countries, in the Muslim countries as well. So these are the documents that are required for the halal certification. You can go through this, then we'll move to the next slide. So it is that the specific documents required for the halal certification can be varied depending on the certification body and the country. But the common documentation are in front of you, that the application form, the ingredient list, in which the comprehensive list of all ingredients used in the production process. Processing flow chart will be there. In the processing flow chart, a diagram showing the steps involved in the production process. Supply information in that one is it's the detail of the sources, such as for the halal compliant suppliers as well. Then there will be the certificate of the analysis, COA, which is you can see the supplier COA, certificate of analysis. In the documentation of the lab testing for the products and verifying their halal status. Cleaning and sanitizing procedures, documentation of the procedures to prevent the cross contamination uh, with non-halal products as well. Packaging materials, such as the details about the packaging to ensure they are free from the non-halal materials. Uh, Halal assurance system, in which the documentation of the procedures and practices is to ensure that the ongoing halal compliance are in the place or not. So, pre-assessment audit is optional. You can, if you are brave enough, so you may go through and direct to conduct an audit without the pre-assessment audit. It is optional, but it could be, you can say, optional in some countries and compulsory in some countries. It's still country to country, but in most of the countries, it's optional. Can you move to the next slide, please? This is the halal guidelines for food manufacturing units. You can read these. These are just guidelines. There's no need of explanation in these one. So then we'll move to the next slide in 2 minutes. Okay, shall we move to the next slide, please? Okay, a little bit more of the guidelines. Wait for 2 minutes, then move to the next slide, please. Okay, we can move to the next slide, please. You are most welcome, Mr. Usman. Okay, these are the guidelines for the QCA department. You can read these, then I will explain to you in detail, because this one needs a little bit of explanation. Most of the people wouldn't understand these guidelines. So QCA stands for Quality Control Agency. So we have to ensure that the products and processes in this guidelines or in the agency are according to the principles of the can say halal, which is permissible according to the Islamic law. So uh, the QCA must maintain the list of raw materials as approved by the halal body. All incoming materials, so you can say anything which the raw material with the non-halal status must not be approved by the QCA. While selecting the new material, or you can say a supplier, other halal status must be considered. So QCA and QA, both of the departments have can say the combination of checking whether the halal status, the halal certification will get expired soon, whether that expiry is there, or whether the product is near to the expiry, whether that it is expired, and other things which are you can say not according to the halal guidelines should be removed and corrected, or you can say uh, what we would say in this one. Uh, it is improved, or it is brought to a level which is acceptable to an halal guideline. You can use this phrase, it is more suitable. That it is brought to an that level which is acceptable to the guidelines of the halal uh, authority. Can I move to the next slide, please? Okay. So the halal guidelines for the R&D. So research and development area. What could be the guidelines? You can go through these ones and I explain it to you, or share different type of guidelines with you in my voice. So in the R&D department, the halal guidelines involve ensuring that the products are being developed and processed using, or you are being used to align with the Islamic principles. It's not an, you can say, a very uh, tough or difficult process. First of all, the ingredient selection, the R&D department need to know that which ingredients or the selection of the ingredients of the raw materials and the ingredients that are halal and are free from any prohibited substances are in their product. Let's just say that there are some things or some elements, some substances which are prohibited and they are present in the product. So the R&D department, they if they are up to the date and they are working efficiently and responsibly, they should know that what type of ingredient are there in their product, right? So R&D department plays a very significant role. So they should avoid using the ingredients that are derived from the animals that are not slaughtered according to the Islamic guidelines as well. Then they should go through the cross contamination, prevent any cross contamination between the halal and non halal ingredients during the storage, handling, and processing. But the processing method, they should ensure that the methods such in the processing, uh, let's include such as cooking, extracting, refining, or you can say these all are according to the halal principles, and they should avoid using the equipment or method that involve non-halal substances and practices. The you can say the crucial or the most difficult part is here, in which the flavoring and additives are there. In any product where their additives and flavoring are there. This is the most difficult part in the halal certification and for the auditors as well who are from the halal certification body. Because why flavoring and additives are those type of substances which takes a lot of time and effort, whether to check the certifications or you can say the substances, the traceability. Can say the traceability of the non-halal substances or halal substances takes a long time, and the traceability or severity of that substances that are found are over. You can say if there is a team of three auditors of the halal audit, or you can say the panel of the halal auditors or the anything. Basically, it's a panel. So there is, you can say, mostly there is a debate of on the severity of the elements that are found during the test. That no, it's okay. It's according to the guidelines of the halal. But one would say no. It's completely it's totally prohibited. It cannot be added. The other one say, it's okay. So I think it's okay. Yeah, there is some problem, but I think the severity is from low to medium. So it should be okay. So these types of thing, why? Because the R&D team needs to verify that the flavoring, colorings, and additives used in the development process are halal certified. How? Let's just say that you are purchasing from the supplier any type of flavoring and additives such as colors, uh, flavorings, additives, any type of things that you're purchasing from the supply. The supplier needs to ensure that ensure that the products he is supplying to you are halal certified, such as colors, flavors. So that could be, or you can say that this step would save a lot of time for your products to get the halal certification if you are already purchasing the products which are halal certified. But there are some products which still doesn't have the halal certification mostly. So but you can actually save your time and purchase at least those who have the halal certificate. So labeling, the labeling plays a very good part, that it's not just a stamp that we put on the product which says that yeah, this product is halal certified. No, and ensure that the final product is accurately labeled with the clear indication that this is a halal certified product. The transparency is crucial for consumers seeking the halal products. We need to provide a proof. You cannot just say this product is halal on like this. No, you say yes, I am the proof. I am saying no. You need that type of labeling, which you can say the consumer seeks for the halal products. Can you move to the next slide, please?
सर एक क्वेश्चन था,
जी
ये हलाल का कौन सा स्टैंडर्ड है जो गाइडलाइंस प्रोवाइड करता है, ये जो आप दिखा रहे हैं R&D और QCA, इनके बारे में?
आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी जो है फ्लक्चुएट कर रही है. आप एक काम करें, आप क्वेश्चन अपना जो है वो चैट में लिख के भेज दें. हम सेशन के एंड के ऊपर जो है क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन करेंगे, तो तब मैं आपका जवाब दे दूंगा. ठीक है. Okay, so these are the halal status for the warehouse, or you can say what should be the status of your warehouse as well. Warehouse doesn't play a very significant role, but it is the most important part in the halal audits where the storage is taking place. Why? Because the warehouse is something, like just say that if there is a traces of mouse, okay, that the mouse is in the storage and the mouse has been eating from the product that you can say uh, assure that they are halal. So what could be the problem? That you need to do the pest management first of all to ensure that your halal status doesn't get revoked. This is the first, or you can say the least you could do. But regular review and update of the halal guidelines is needed to stay current with development. My perspective is the most significant step, because the cleanness is also part of the you can say a very important part in the Muslim life, or you can say in his daily life. So if you keep your warehouse clean, the more benefit it will provide to you. If you keep your warehouse dirty, the more difficulties it will create for you to get the halal certification. Can you move to the next slide, please?
Ali, the what? Ali, the pouch water. Ali, எப்பற மாற்றுறது?
So these are the guidelines for the logistics, that the transportation is not be is taken care. Let's just say that the transportation should be separate for the halal and non-halal products, or at least there should be a partition, or at least there should be separation. Anything you can say, all you can say, phrase it. So logistics must have the system to ensure the implementation of the halal guidelines are in place and are not, you can say, getting transported along with the non-halal items. Okay. I guess this was the last slide. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this session. It was just a little, very, you can say, a little, very little brief on the Halal audit certification, because this was the first session in our organization which is based upon the halal audit, and we are you can say, we are starting to bring more and more free awareness session on different trainings and topics and standards, whether it is halal, whether it is ISO, and much more. So we'll start the question and answer session in 2 minutes. I would like all of you to please uh, write your questions in the chat. So I will look one by one, and then I will answer to you on the voice. I would like to thank everyone who has joined today and took their time. So if you have any questions, you may ask them in the chat. So Usman Said, pre-assessment. See, Usman, you need to know that you need to ask the certification body. Some certification body mostly provide pre-assessment audit for free, but as seeing the financial stability of the country, I don't think it is free anymore. So you could check with them during the in the meeting, in the first meeting, and ask them that whether the pre-assessment audit is for free or whether you have to pay the separate fee. Mostly in most countries it is free, but in some countries it is not for free. So I'm guessing it's and it depends on the organization and the certification body different. Some may give it to you for free, some may not. Okay, let's just see what the other questions are there.
Hello, sir. Am I audible to you?
जी जी जी
अच्छा
बोलिए।
सर, ये जो डिफरेंट आपने जो रेफरेंस स्टैंडर्ड दिए हैं R&D के लिए और QCA के लिए, ये हलाल के कौन से स्टैंडर्ड हैं जो इन पे गाइडलाइंस देते हैं?
कौन से मतलब मैं आपकी बात थोड़ी सी वो हो रहा है कि वो आवाज आपकी वो हो रही है, बाबा फ्लक्चुएट हो रही है। मैं आपका क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं रहा। आप ये बता रहे हैं कि मुझे थोड़ा सा अपना क्वेश्चन आप समझाएं कि आप ये पूछ रहे हैं कि कौन सा हालात स्टैंडर्ड जो प्रोवाइड करता है
जी
गाइडलाइंस,
बिल्कुल, और
ये
R&D
पूछ
के
रहे हैं?
लिए और QCA वगैरह के लिए।
ठीक है, मैं अभी बता देता हूँ। अच्छा देखिए, एक कोई सिंगल या ये आपको वो मुझे थोड़ा सा और दोबारा से आपने पूछना पड़ेगा कि ऐसा क्या हो सकता है, क्या मुझे बता सकते हैं कि आपको सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी पूछे या स्पेसिफिक, क्योंकि स्टैंडर्ड तो एक ही है ना हलाल का। अब उसके अंदर क्या क्या होगा कि हलाल के स्टैंडर्ड के अंदर क्या होता है कि डिपेंड करता है कि आपका रीजन कौन सा, डिपार्टमेंट कौन सा। जैसे आपने मुझे बताया कि क्यूसी है और आर एंड डी है, तो आपको गाइडलाइंस इस तरह से वो प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। जैसे अ, आप जैसे आप अपनी जो सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी है उनसे कांटेक्ट कर लें। ठीक है, फिर आप सेकंड स्टेप आपका ये होगा कि आप वहाँ पे जाके देखें कि कुछ आपको, मैं जैसे अभी थोड़ा सा आपको मैं डिफरेंट तरीके से समझा रहा हूँ, तो उम्मीद है आपको समझ आ जाएगा। आप फर्ज कर लें, जैसे एक कंट्री में नाम नहीं ले रहा कंट्रीज के, जैसे एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ। एक कंट्री है, वहाँ पे आपकी जो गाइडलाइंस है हलाल की, क्यूसी और आर&डी डिपार्टमेंट की, वो डिफरेंट है। जस्ट फॉर से कि कुछ कंट्रीज के अंदर जो है कलर्स और फ्लेवर्स जो होते हैं वो बोलते हैं कि आप नॉन हलाल भी यूज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको ये प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि आपका प्रोडक्ट जो है वो इनके डालने के बावजूद भी हलाल। ठीक है। अब कुछ जगहों पे ऐसा होता है कि वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं, आपने कलर्स और फ्लेवर्स हलाल ही डालने हैं। तो अब वो क्या होता है, वो फंस जाते हैं बीच में, बोलते हैं हम क्योंकि वो अगर उनका ऐसा कोई प्रोडक्ट हुआ जो कि हलाल नहीं है, तो वो उनके लिए मुश्किल हो जाती है। तो बेस्ट ये है कि आप ये चेक करें कि जो जो गाइडलाइंस आप, जैसे फर्स्ट करने से हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी, हम उनसे पूछ पूछ सकते हैं कि भाई, हम जो आप अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए कर रहे हैं, हम डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में सबमिट कराई है, उसमें हमने क्लियरली मेंशन कर दिया है कि हमारा आर&डी डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो नॉन हलाल प्रोडक्ट यूज करता है, हलाल प्रोडक्ट्स यूज करता है। तो उसके बाद जो है फिर वो आपको और अच्छे तरीके से समझा देंगे कि अगर हमें ये करना चाहिए तो हम ये क्या करें। वो क्योंकि वो प्रोफेशनल्स होते हैं, वो जाहिर बात है इसके अंदर होते हैं, वो कंडक्ट कर रहे होते हैं ऑडिट, तो उनको ज्यादातर वही इल्म होता है कि वो आपको अच्छे तरीके से बता सकता होगा। वो खुद भी नहीं बता पाते नॉर्मली, तो अपनी टीम लेकर आते हैं, क्योंकि हलाल ऑडिट्स की एक और अपनी आर&डी टीम होती है, वो बताती है आपको कि अगर ये फर्ज कर लें आप ये कलर डाल लें, आप बोलिए मिल नहीं रहा है, तो वो आपको भी बना के देंगे। आपका कलर का सैंपल लेके जाएंगे, उसी तरह का डेवलप करेंगे हलाल इंग्रेडिएंट से कलर, फिर वो आपको दे देंगे। ये वो कर सकता है आपके लिए।
अच्छा सर, डिफरेंट जो इंग्रेडिएंट्स होते हैं वो जो कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूज कर रही होती है, उसके लिए क्या क्राइटेरिया है कि उसको उसकी इवैल्यूएशंस का, डिफरेंट इंग्रेडिएंट्स जो वो यूज कर रहे होते हैं इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट?
जैसे अगर आप पूछें, आप ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि जो कलर्स डालते हैं, जो इंग्रेडिएंट्स डालते हैं प्रोडक्ट के अंदर, उनकी क्या वो वेरिफिकेशन है, प्रोसेस है हलाल के लिए, आप ये पूछ रहे हैं ना?
नहीं सर, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि डिफरेंट, फॉर एग्जांपल वो कोई भी इंग्रेडिएंट्स यूज कर रहे हैं, तो उसको
हम्म।
इवैल्यूएट करने का क्या क्राइटेरिया होता है एक सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी के पास?
एवेल्युएट करने का ये होता है, देखें पहले वो सबसे पहले आप जब सबमिशन कराएंगे अपने डॉक्यूमेंट के अंदर, तो आपसे वो पूछा जाएगा कि आप अपने इंग्रेडिएंट्स की लिस्ट प्रोवाइड करें। ठीक है। इंग्रेडिएंट्स की लिस्ट प्रोवाइड करने के बाद जो है वो जो शरिया लॉ का जो पैनल होता है वो चेक करेगा। ये उससे पहले ही चेक हो जाएगा आपका, आई गेस जो ऑडिटर्स होते हैं वही चेक कर लेंगे कि भाई, आपने जो इंग्रेडिएंट्स की लिस्ट प्रोवाइड की है उसके अंदर कोई ऐसा प्रोडक्ट या इंग्रेडिएंट है जो कि ऐसे ही उससे पार्ट से आ रहा है, या फर्ज कर लें कोई भी ऐसा आपने इंग्रेडिएंट है, फॉर एग्जांपल हम जनरली बोल लें, तो वो फिर आपसे पूछेंगे फर्दर, अगर उनको कोई इसमें वो शक लगा कि हाँ, आप फर्दर बताएं कि आपने किधर से परचेज किया, सप्लायर का नाम बताएं। सप्लायर से वो पूछना, वो बोलेंगे, आप पूछेंगे उसने कहाँ से परचेज किया। ठीक है, सप्लायर बताए। अगर वो नहीं होता कि ये सब नहीं होता, फिर वो लैब टेस्टिंग में चला जाता है, जहाँ से फिर वो ट्रेसेबिलिटी जो है वो चेक करते हैं, फिर ट्रेस मिल जाता है। फिर ट्रेसेबिलिटी के बाद जब वो आपका सब्सटेंस मिल जाता है, फिर उसके बाद उसकी सेवियरिटी जो है वो चेक की जाती है शरिया लॉ के मुताबिक, कि वेदर इट इज एक्सेप्टेबल टू द शरिया लॉ और वेदर इट इज नॉट। अगर वो एक्सेप्टेबल होता है तो सही, अगर नहीं होता तो फिर वो बोलते हैं कि आप इसका कोई अल्टरनेटिव ढूंढ के लाएं, कुछ करें, इसका हल निकालें, वरना आपको सर्टिफिकेट तो नहीं मिलेगा। ये होता है। मोस्टली इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द सब्सटेंसेस। अगर सब्सटेंसेस आपके हक में हैं और आपने सही से, और अगर आपने सही से इंग्रेडिएंट लिस्ट प्रोवाइड की है, तो कोई इशू नहीं होगा। अगर ऐसे आपने इंग्रेडिएंट्स लिस्ट के अंदर ये सबसे शो कर दिया कि ये सप्लायर है, ये इंग्रेडिएंट है मेरा, ये मैंने यहाँ से परचेज किया है, सारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन आपने सही से प्रोवाइड कर दिया, तो कोई इशू नहीं है। लेकिन अगर आपने थोड़ी सी भी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन अगर आपने नॉन प्रोफेशनल से बनवाई भी है, तो तब इशू हो सकता है। ठीक है। अच्छा, मोहम्मद अली, वेजिटेरियन, हाउ वी कंसिडर एज हलाल, हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन from masjid is accepted, sir? No, I don't think. Muhammad Ali, the certification from the masjid I'm sorry to say, it cannot be accepted. You need to get the certification from an registered authority that is based on the Sharia law of the halal. So then the certificate from that authority would be beneficial around the world, because if you take a certification from the masjid, it would not be acceptable, right? Because it is not registered and verified. So I hope that answers to your question.
अच्छा
if
सर, ये ओवरऑल जो प्रेजेंटेशन थी, ये किस स्टैंडर्ड को बेस करके जो है वो बनाई गई थी? फॉर एग्जांपल स्मिक का रिवाइज स्टैंडर्ड था या ओल्ड स्टैंडर्ड था?
ये इन जनरल थी, सबको इसमें कवर किया गया था, क्योंकि मैं अगर किसी स्पेसिफिक पे जाता ना तो फिर वो ये होता है कि अवेयरनेस सेशन है तो किसी को समझ नहीं आता। तो ये एक जनरल हलाल स्टैंडर्ड के ऊपर हमने डिस्कशन किया था कि सब जिसके अंदर सब आ जाता है, अभी कोई स्पेसिफिक इस पर हमने टारगेट नहीं किया। Okay, if you have any more questions, you may ask me. I'm here for 2 more minutes. I'm having a call, so you may ask me in the chat. I will answer in 1 minute. Thank you for your patience. Okay, sorry for the interruption. It was really an important call. My deepest apologies. So, how we can do halal for chicken? Okay, so you can the supplier plays the main role. See, when you go to in shop to buy a chicken, what you do? If it's okay if we keep it aside that the chicken is already slaughtered and it is in the display now. This is the trust, right? It is built upon the trust that if you are purchasing from the shop, let's just keep aside all the certification and all of the processes. You know that the meat of the chicken which you're eating is properly slaughtered in a halal way, right? So if you want to need to know what type of process you need to get for the halal, so best is that if you buy from a certified supplier of the halal certified supplier, that would be better. Okay. Which ingredients halal or okay? It will take a little bit of time, but I will explain to you, Mr. Raza. Very nice question, I would say. See, halal guidelines for the products are generally involved using ingredients that are according to the Islamic laws. So milk should be are permissible from animals such as cows, goats, and sheep, which is considered halal as long as the animal is slaughtered according to the Islamic guidelines. Then the cheese. In cheese, the cheese is made halal certified milk from the milk and the microbial enzyme based on the substances which are generally considered halal. It is important to verify the source of the enzymes used in the cheese making to ensure that they are not derived from the non-halal sources. And what should I add more in the dairy? Yogurt, let's say yogurt. Yogurt is made from the halal certified milk and cultures is typically considered halal. The cultures plays the main role, and that is the main part where the traceability takes place in showing that the yogurt is halal or not. Similar to cheese, it is you need to check the source of any added flavor, stabilizers, or thickness to ensure they are also halal as well. Because sometimes when we go through the the source of the any added flavors or stabilizers. The thickener sometimes is non-halal. If they are halal, the stabilizers are non-halal. Then if they are, it's a very big, can say a hectic process. But once you have gone through, it will be easy. Okay, so cream and butter. So cream and butter would be made from the halal certified milk that are considered halal. Again, ensure that the flavorings and the additives are from the permissible sources. Lactose is considered halal for your everyone's knowledge and for your knowledge as well, since it is dry from the milk. So if anyone is labeling lactose as non-halal, it's totally rubbish. So okay. Flavors and colors, mostly colors are used in dairy products should be from the halal certified sources. Natural flavors are generally preferred, but synthetic one can be permissible if they meet the halal criteria. So I hope that answers your question of the dairy product. It was not a detailed one, but I hope it was detailed enough to clear your concept. Okay, so dairy product is done. Okay. Some okay, halal for the meat products. How okay, okay. Sometimes we purchase some ingredients from direct market, like some color, flavor. So how verified these ingredients are from the halal sources or not? See, as I mentioned in this session as well, that if you are buying the color, you need to check whether they are natural, whether they are derived from the natural substances or the sources or not. If they are derived from the natural substances, it is okay. There is no need for the halal certificate. But if they are like they are made through chemical or some other type, then the natural phenomena is not considered in that color and flavoring. Then there should be a logo of the halal certification on the back of the packet or any type of the packaging on the of the color and the ingredient that you are eating. If it is not, then it should not be considered as halal according to me, because if it is natural, mostly it is natural, but if it is not natural, then the halal certification is needed.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Sir, we can demand from market person where we purchase these ingredients. They provide us supplier certificate.
मैं आपसे कोई मसला नहीं, उर्दू में बात कर लेता हूँ। मुझे बताएं, आप ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि आप किससे सर्टिफिकेट डिमांड करना चाह रहे हैं? आपको अपने लिए चाहिए, अपनी दुकान के लिए चाहिए, किस
नहीं
चीज?
सर, एक
हाँ
इंडस्ट्री
बताएं मुझे।
एक इंडस्ट्री है बेसिकली।
ठीक
तो
है,
वो कोई एक बिग सेटअप नहीं, एक छोटा सेटअप है। तो वहाँ से कुछ चीज़ें
ठीक
हमें
है,
मार्केट से डायरेक्ट परचेज करनी पड़ती हैं। जैसे कि P4 कलर हो गया, सम फ्लेवर हो गए। तो एक्चुअली मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि हम वो बल्क में परचेज कर भी नहीं सकते, क्योंकि आगे हमारी कंजम्पशन उतनी ज़्यादा नहीं है। तो
ठीक
उसको
है।
फिर फर्ज करें 1 kg 2 kg हम परचेज करते हैं, तो वो हमें 2-3 मंथ या 4 मंथ यूज़ हम कर सकते हैं उसको। इतना ड्यूरेशन
ठीक
जो
है,
है निकल जाता है। तो उसके लिए अब हम
नहीं होता,
मार्केट
ठीक
से
है, ठीक है, मैं
वो
समझ गया, जी
सप्लायर
जी जी।
सर्टिफिकेट किस तरह सर हम उसको रिक्वायर्ड करें, क्या करें, ये मैं सब पूछना चाह रहा
अच्छा, तो पहले मैं आपको क्वेश्चन दोबारा से रिपीट करना चाहूंगा। आपकी इंडस्ट्री है छोटी सी, आपको ऐसा सप्लायर चाहिए जो कि जहां से अपनी इंडस्ट्री के लिए सामान लेकर आ रहे हैं कि वो हलाल है या नहीं। आप ये बोले ना कि जो सप्लायर है आपको, वो आप वो कैसे चेक करेंगे कि उसके पास हलाल सर्टिफिकेट है या नहीं?
हूँ। यस सर, बिल्कुल।
देखें, आप कभी भी मार्केट में जब जाए ना, तो जब आप सप्लायर से कोई भी चीज ले रहे होते हैं, कोई सी भी चीज हो गई, अ, अगर इस हलाल को थोड़ा साइड पे रखें, कोई सी भी चीज लेते हैं, आप जाके फर्ज कर लें, आप ऑयल ले रहे हैं अपनी इंडस्ट्री के लिए, आप कोई भी चीज लेने जा रहे हैं, तो आप चेक करते हैं ना कि ये बात जैसे एक्सपायरी पड़ते हैं उसकी। अब उस पर एक्सपायरी अब नहीं होगी तो आपको थोड़ा सा पैनिक हो जाए कि यार ये कैसा ले रहा हूँ मैं, सही है नहीं। तो जिस सप्लायर से आप लेने जा रहे हैं उस सप्लायर से आप बिल्कुल डिमांड कर सकते हैं। के पास भी जाए, पास नॉलेज ही नहीं होगी। तो अगर आप ये चेक कर सकते हैं कि आप जो चीजें परचेज कर रहे हैं वो नेचुरल है या नहीं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये मैं आपको आसान तरीका बता रहा हूँ। अगर वो आसान है, ओ सॉरी, अगर वो
सॉरी सर, डिस्टॉर्शन हो रही है, मुझे सही वॉइस नहीं समझ आ रही।
जी सॉरी, मेरा नेट थोड़ा सा वो अनस्टेबल हो गया तो इस वजह से जो मैं लाइन इंटरप्ट हो गई। तो आई होप अभी तक आप मेरे साथ होंगे। मिस्टर जिशान आप हैं?
यस सर, आई एम हियर।
ओके ओके। अच्छा, तो मिस्टर जिशान मैं आपको ये समझा रहा था कि आप जब बाय करें तो अगर नेचुरल है तो सही है, अगर नहीं है तो अपनी लोकल फूड अथॉरिटी को बता सकते हैं कि भाई ये इशू है मेरे साथ और ये मुझे सर्टिफिकेट प्रोवाइड नहीं कर रहा और मैं इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हूँ। एज माई डिमांड फ्रॉम द सप्लायर इज वेरी ऑथेंटिक एंड वैलिड। आप जाके सप्लायर को जाके देखें इसको, पकड़ें और ये सारी चीज़ें मुझे प्रोवाइड करें। ठीक है मिस्टर जिशान?
सर बेसिकली हमें जो है वो सप्लायर से एक तो हलाल सर्टिफिकेट हम दे ही रहे हैं, वो हमने डिमांड करनी है।
जी जी
तो
जी।
सेकेंडली हमें जो है वो सप्लाइंग सर्टिफिकेट उससे चाहिए होता है, जो ऑथेंटिकेशन करता है कि हम इससे परचेज कर रहे हैं ये चीज़।
देखिए, अगर अगर जैसे आप जैसे सप्लायर के पास जा रहे हैं, फर्स्ट कर लें आप कलर लेने जा रहे हैं सप्लायर के पास, ठीक है। तो सप्लायर ने खुद ही जो है वो लगाया हुआ होगा या तो उसके प्रोडक्ट्स पे आ रहा होगा, मेंशन होगा। अगर नहीं हुआ, चलें थोड़ा सा वो इतना ज्यादा वेल मैनेज या वेल ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं है, तो उसने उसके पास अंदर पीछे लगा हुआ होगा उसके पास उसकी दीवार के ऊपर के हलाल सर्टिफाइड सप्लायर इस तरह से करके, ठीक है। अगर वो भी नहीं है तो उसके पास दराज में रखा हुआ होगा सर्टिफिकेट, और अगर वो भी नहीं है तो फिर वो हलाल सर्टिफाइड होगा ही नहीं बस। आप उससे बोल सकते हैं आप मुझे शो करें अपना सर्टिफिकेट कि आप हलाल सर्टिफाइड हैं। अब वो कहीं से भी हो, सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी से आप उसकी पिक्चर लेके, आप जो भी आपकी अथॉरिटी हो या जो उसके ऊपर ये अथॉरिटी मेंशन की हुई हो कि भाई ये फर्ज कर लें कि हलाल सर्विसेज कोई भी नाम हो जो सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी का, वो सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी के नंबर पे इंटरनेट के थ्रू आप सर्च करें उसका नंबर और उनको बताएं भाई मैं ये सप्लायर है, इससे मैं चीज़ें लेता हूँ, मैं इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हूँ। तो आप मुझे ये कंफर्म कर सकते हैं कि ये ऑथेंटिक है, ये जो सर्टिफिकेट है वैलिड है। वो अगर वेरीफाई कर देंगे तो आपका काम आसान है। अगर उसके पास ये भी नहीं है प्रूफ दिखाने के लिए, तो आप अपनी अथॉरिटीज को बता सकते हैं कि भाई मैं चीज़ इससे लेता हूँ और मुझे आगे जो है वो हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन जो खुद मुझे एक चाहिए होती है एज ए इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, तो मुझे सप्लायर भी हलाल चाहिए ना, तो ये मुझे अगर हलाल चीज़ें प्रोवाइड नहीं करा तो मैं क्या करूँगा। तो आप अपनी अथॉरिटीज को बता सकते हैं कि ये प्रोवाइड करें। और नॉर्मली हैं बहुत सारी जो आजकल इतना अवेयरनेस फैल गई है, तो नॉर्मली तौर पे बहुत सारी जो हैं वो जो सप्लायर्स हैं वो ये क्राइटेरिया लेकर आ रहे हैं कि वो चीज़ें जो हैं इंडस्ट्री को प्रोवाइड करें, अपने जो प्रोडक्ट्स हो गए कोई भी चीज़ें हो गई हलाल के साथ।
जी बेहतर सर, ये तो हलाल के लिए मुझे बिल्कुल समझ आ गई आपकी बात। इसके साथ साथ बेसिकली सर ये हलाल सर्टिफिकेट जो है वो एक सप्लाइंग या सप्लायर को भी रिप्रेजेंट करता है कि हम इससे ये चीज़ ले रहे हैं, या उसके लिए फिर एक और अलग सर्टिफिकेट हमें चाहिए होता है?
ये अलग अलग होंगे डिपेंडिंग कि आपकी, अगर आपकी खाने की इंडस्ट्री उसका अलग होगा, आपकी कपड़ों की इंडस्ट्री उसका अलग होगा, आपकी फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स की उसका अलग होगा, आपकी कलर्स की इंडस्ट्री उसका अलग होगा, हर इंडस्ट्री का अलग होगा हलाल सर्टिफिकेट। और उस हर इंडस्ट्री में अगर फर्ज कर ले जैसे आपके कपड़ों की है तो उस पर कपड़ों के ऊपर आपको हलाल सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाएगा। कल को अगर कोई लड़ ले आपसे, कोई भाई साहब बोले कि नहीं यार इसके अंदर तो किसी पिग पिग लेदर यूज किया गया, आप यहाँ बोले नहीं, और बोले दिखा दें आपकी जो इंडस्ट्री है वो हलाल सर्टिफाइड है या नहीं, तो वो बोल देंगे कि आप ये देख लें। मैं तो इसी तरह से हर हर डिफरेंट हलाल जो है देखिए एक, इसको हम फूड के अंदर नहीं रख सकते ना खाली। हाँ फूड के अंदर मेन रोल बहुत अच्छा प्ले करते हैं, लेकिन अगर फूड से बाहर जाएं तो फार्मास्यूटिकल भी आ जाता है इसके अंदर। बहुत सारे जैसे मैंने भी डिस्कस किया सेशन के अंदर, सब अलग अलग उनका होगा, उनका पे अलग अलग क्राइटेरिया होगा। उम्मीद है आपको कंफ्यूजन आपकी दूर हो गई।
जी सर, वेरी थैंक्स।
मोस्ट वेलकम। अच्छा जी सर, टेल मी द डेफिनेशन ऑफ द halal. It's a very simple definition that anything which complies with the halal standards or the Sharia law is considered halal. Like it is being slaughtered or the animal is being slaughtered or nothing, you can say anything which is haram is not added to the products. If it is free from all, this is the definition of halal.
सर आवाज आ रही? क्वेश्चन पूछ।
Uh, जी जी बोले उस्मान, मिस्टर उस्मान।
सर कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स होती हैं उनमें हम टमाटो और पोटाटो और ऑनियन वगैरह ऐड करते हैं, और वो इस तरह होता है कि वो डायरेक्ट हम मंडियों से खरीद कर ऐड कर लेते हैं। अब वो अगर उधर से खरीदेंगे तो कोई हलाल सर्टिफिकेट तो उनके पास होता नहीं है, और उसके बाद जब हम हलाल का ऑडिट करवाएंगे और ट्रेसेबिलिटी करेंगे तो हमारे पास उसका रिकॉर्ड किस तरह हम वो शो करवा सकते हैं?
अच्छा आप
इस
तो
तरह
शुरू से थोड़ा मुझे बताएंगे, आप क्या टोमेटो और पानी का बताया तो मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि
मैं
आवाज कट गई।
मैं मैं कह रहा हूँ अगर किसी प्रोडक्ट में हम ऐड करते हैं पोटाटो और अनियन वगैरह, वो
पोटैटो
हम
ऑनियन ऐड
डायरेक्ट,
कर रहे हैं, ठीक है।
जी वो डायरेक्ट बाय करते हैं हम ये मंडियों से, सब्जी मंडी जो होती है, लेकिन
हाँ
उनके
हाँ।
पास तो कोई इस तरह का हलाल सर्टिफिकेट वगैरह नहीं होता। अब जब हम ऑडिट करवाएंगे और ट्रेसेबिलिटी में तो वो शो करना पड़ेगा कि प्रोडक्ट में हमने ये
आप
ऐड किया।
आप बस अपने सप्लायर से ये श्योरिटी लिया है कि नेचुरल है, आपको जरूरत ही नहीं होगी शो प्रूफ करने की कि हलाल है।
नहीं उसका भी कोई सर्टिफिकेट वगैरह होगा, या वैसे किस तरह छोटी ले सकते हैं? ऑडिट
वो
वाले तो नहीं
आप
मानेंगे?
देखें, अगर अगर वो अगर आप इंग्रेडिएंट लिस्ट प्रोवाइड करेंगे ना, जब ऑडिट अपना कंडक्ट हो रहा होगा, आपका इंग्रेडिएंट लिस्ट प्रोवाइड करेंगे, ठीक है।
जी
तो आपने जैसे पोटैटो बोला, ऑनियन बोला, आपने उसके अंदर इंग्रेडिएंट लिस्ट के अंदर आगे ब्रैकेट बना के नेचुरल लिख देना है,
ठीक।
बस।
और
हाँ
सर एक और
क्योंकि
एक
अब
यंग
ये
का
मसला होता है कि हमारे जो गांव देहात हैं या जो जहाँ से आप लेकर आते हैं, वहाँ पे तो नॉर्मली तौर पे मेरी नॉलेज के अंदर अभी तक इस तरह का कोई काम शुरू ही नहीं हुआ कि हम जाके वहाँ पे उनके खेत देखें, सब चीज़ें देखें और चेक करें खाद जो डाल रहे हैं वाकई में हलाल या ऐसे किसी नॉन हलाल चीज़ से उसको खाद में डाल के जो है वो आपका पोटैटो ऑनियंस ला के डाल के आपको दे रहे हैं। तो ये तो बहुत ही लंबा प्रोसेस हो जाएगा। लेकिन जहाँ तक है बात हलाल की, तो पोटैटो ऑनियन अगर आप डाल लें और आप सप्लायर से लेकर आ रहे हैं, अगर वो नेचुरली नॉर्मली नेचुरली होते हैं हमारे यहाँ पे, तो अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि नेचुरल चीज़ों से ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट से बाहर होते हैं, तब मसला आता है इन चीज़ों में जो आप बता रहे हैं ना, कि बाहर बाहर से चीज़ों में। अब वो जो ऐसा होता है कि ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट से आ रहे हैं, तो वो ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट स्टैब्लिश ही तब होता है जब उनके पास हलाल सर्टिफिकेट पहले आ जाता है। उसके बाद वो ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट जो है या जो प्रोसेस है पूरा, वो स्टार्ट कर ही नहीं सकते।
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है।
और सर एक और है, वो वैसे ट्रेनिंग का वैसे नहीं है, वैसे थोड़ा क्यूए और क्यूसी की थोड़ी सी मुझे कंफ्यूजन, वो अगर आप क्लियर कर दें तो।
जी जी, क्यूसी का पूछें, क्वालिटी
सर
कंट्रोल का पूछ रहे हैं।
जी, दोनों का डेफिनेशन से क्लियर कर दें, वैसे दोनों का बता दें कि दोनों का डिफरेंस क्या है क्यूए और क्यूसी में।
क्यू ए और क्यू सी में क्या डिफरेंस है?
जी।
देखिए, क्यूसी में आपको थोड़ा सा आसान लफ्जों में समझाऊंगा। क्यूसी जो है वो लैब का काम है, सारा
ठीक है।
लैब, केमिकल्स हो गए, प्रोडक्ट आ गया आपका। जैसे आपने मुझे ये बताया कि आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है, मैं आपके प्रोडक्ट से आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहा हूँ ताकि आपको अच्छे तरीके से समझ आ जाए कि आप बोल रहे हैं मैं पोटैटो ऑनियन डालता हूँ, अब इसके अंदर फर्ज करें आप पकड़े गए, क्या
जी।
बोला गया कि नहीं नहीं प्रूफ करें भाई आपका ये पोटैटो ऑनियन, अगर हो ऐसा नॉर्मली होता नहीं है, एग्जांपल आपको दे रहा हूँ खाली, तो आप किसके पास जाएंगे? आप क्यूसी के पास जाएंगे, आपका जो इंडस्ट्री के अंदर या कहीं पे भेजेंगे आप उनको प्रूफ करने की, रिपोर्ट बनाने के लिए। रिपोर्ट जाती है हमेशा क्यूसी डिपार्टमेंट में। ठीक है। अब उनका
ठीक।
क्या होता है, अगर ये एक अलग सिनेरियो है। अगर दूसरा सिनेरियो, अगर आपने हायर किया हुआ, तो वो देखते हैं कि क्वालिटी कंट्रोल कैसे हो रहा है। फर्ज कर लें कि आपने एक प्रोडक्ट बनाया हुआ, आपने बोला है भाई ये सड़े ना, तो आप क्वालिटी कंट्रोल वाले यही मैनेज करते हैं कि आप वो क्वालिटी मेंटेन करते हैं प्रोडक्ट की आपकी। वो ऐसी ऐसी चीजें, रिकॉर्ड्स चेक करते हैं आपकी, केमिकल चीजें चेक करते हैं आपकी, जितना भी जो लैब का काम है ना, वो क्यूसी वाले हैंडल करते हैं आपके प्रोडक्ट की। क्यूए वाले जो हैं वो अश्योरेंस देते हैं स्टैंडर्ड्स के ऊपर। वो ऑन साइट विजिट करते हैं आपके, चेक कर रहे होते हैं कि भाई आपकी जो इक्विपमेंट है वो स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक है या नहीं। क्यूसी के अलग स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, क्यूए के अलग स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, लेकिन क्यूए के अंदर लैब जो है कुछ स्टेप्स पे आती है, लेकिन एज एन क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस के अंदर अगर आप पूछें इन जनरल, तो उनका यही बेसिक मकसद होता है कि वो जो आप आपके फूड की क्वालिटी है उसको हार्मफुल बैक्टीरिया से या कॉन्टेमिनेशन से, हैजर्ड से, बाकी सब चीज़ों से इन जनरली बचाएं। ठीक है, मैं एज अ प्रोटेक्टर काम कर रहे होते हैं। एश्योरेंस यही होता है ना कि मैं आपको बताऊं कि मेरा प्रोडक्ट जो है वो बहुत ही साफ है। ये कौन दे सकता है आपको? क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस वाला दे सकता है, क्यूए वाला। ये क्यूसी वाला नहीं दे सकता कि मेरा जो है प्रोडक्ट जो है बहुत साफ सुथरा है। हाँ, क्यूसी वाला आपको ये दे सकता है कि ये प्रोडक्ट जो है 100% या 99% प्योर चीजों से बना हुआ है। अब ये क्यूए वाला भी नहीं दे सकता, क्यूसी वाला दे सकता है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो लैब के अंदर होता है, तो उसका काम ही है क्यूसी वाले का। आई होप आपको समझ आ गया होगा। Yes, yes, you will get the PPT in the WhatsApp group. We will share with everyone. और कोई सवाल मिस्टर दिशान? और किसी को कोई सवाल है? आई गेस इतने पार्टिसिपेंट्स बचे ही नहीं, अगर हैं, जितने भी हैं उनको कोई और है सवाल तो वो प्लीज पूछ लें, फिर जो है सेशन को हम कंक्लूड कर देते हैं। ठीक है फिर, आई होप यू एंजॉयड टुडेस सेशन। टू द रिमेनिंग पार्टिसिपेंट्स, we will inshallah bring more sessions like this in the future. Until then, take care of yourself, be healthy, eat halal, stay halal, and have a good night. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, fish is naturally considered halal. Need a halal certification for the fish. It's if fish is considered, although very halal, if we are not even because it's not slaughtered. So it is slaughtered after being dead, so it is already dead, so it's okay. There is the concept of halal is not there in the fish. Okay. Take care of yourself, Mr. Muhammad, and everyone. Goodbye and good night.